Okay, get ready for a story that sounds like it's completely made up, something out of a kid's movie, but I swear it's totally true. We're talking about the world's youngest mayor. So let's just start with the obvious question here. Could a toddler, a kid who's still figuring out how to tie their own shoes, actually get elected to run a town? Sounds crazy, right?
Well, the answer is a big, resounding yes. Because back in 2015, a town in the United States did exactly that. They elected a mayor who was this age. Yeah, 3 years old. Just let that sink in for a minute.
So who is this political mastermind? His name is James Tufts. And this all went down in the little town of Dorset, Vermont, which, back in 2015, became famous for doing something nobody saw coming.
And what was the new mayor's take on his new gig? Well, in his own words, he said, "I wanted to be the mayor so much. It's pretty awesome." You could just tell. He wasn't just some stand-in. He was genuinely pumped about the job.
Right about now, I know exactly what you're thinking. How on earth is this possible? Like, aren't there rules, age limits, actual campaigns and all that? Well, the secret, it turns out, is all in Dorset's very, let's just say, unique way of holding an election. Forget debates and political promises. This one comes down to pure, simple luck.
Here's how it works, and it's so simple. First, anyone who lives in the town can just toss their name into a ballot box. Then they just pull one single name out and bam, a winner is declared. So yeah, it's way less of a political race and much more like a town raffle.
Okay, so a 3-year-old mayor picked by a lottery. That's already a wild story, right? But hold on, because believe it or not, it gets even better. There's another layer to this whole thing.
It seems like being the mayor of Dorset was kind of becoming the family business for the Tufts. See, James wasn't the first Tufts to hold the town's top spot.
And here is the big twist. James has an older brother, Bobby. And guess what? Bobby was also a former mayor of Dorset. No joke. The town had back-to-back brother mayors, and both of them were toddlers when they got the job. You just can't make this stuff up.
So Bobby, being the, seasoned political veteran in the family, actually coached his little brother. He passed along some absolutely crucial campaign wisdom, how to shake hands the right way, and why you've got to look voters right in the eye. Talk about some solid political advice, right?
This whole story about James Tufts is just so charming and, frankly, bizarre. It really takes all the seriousness out of politics and just makes it fun, which kind of gets you thinking.
If your town did things this way, if becoming mayor was just a lottery, would you throw your name in the hat? And what would be the absolute first thing you'd do in office? It's a fun thing to think about, for sure. Thanks for joining me for this one.